we are starting here. Let's take a look at the champions. And yeah, we'll go from there. All right, so Tatura Ram High. This is I guess the fusion champion before the one we're in right now. Solar Ray attacks on enemy, 80% chance. Well, 100% chance of decreased accuracy. He's going to use that a lot. That's going to be really good for us. We then have place block debuffs and 60% increased defense on all allies for 2 turns. It's amazing. 3-turn cooldown. We then have Otherworld Breach. Attacks all enemies, place a perfect veil buff on all allies except this champion for 2 turns. Also place a shield buff on this champion for 2 turns equal to 20% of the damage inflicted. We've got the cooldown of 4, a little bit more damage in there. When attack reflects 30% of the damage this champion receives back to the attacker. Also has a 30% chance of placing a freeze debuff on the attacker for 1 turn. That is going to come in very handy when we get into the higher levels and they got some like crazy defense. Like very, very handy. And then he's going to be our lead right here. So increase ally defense in Doom Tower battles by 35%. Now, normally we'd have had Sigmund as the 40% lead, but since we got Lydia's going to do. Actually, let's take a look at the stats. So Lydia is going to do the strengthen, the decreased defense, and weaken. So it's pretty good on that end. We got really good stats on this guy. Main thing we really need for this guy is to get him up to like 230 speed. But for right now, yeah, he's fine where he is. Because he's really the only slow person on this team. Alright, next up, under Priest Brogni. Literally one of the best champions there is. Under Priest Brogni. We know his skills here, but just in case you don't, attacks one enemy. Right now, booked, he's got a 55% chance of placing HP burn debuff for 2 turns. I should get that last book in him. I don't need it, but I should get it. 60% is better than 55. We've got attacks all enemies, has a 100% chance when booked of removing 1 random buff from all enemies, 100% chance of removing 1 random debuff from all allies. A lot of people forget that he has a removal on his skill. Increases the value of shield buffs on all allies by 30% of the damage inflicted. Most people pay attention to that, but I very much pay attention to these two here because that's what makes him so good. So good. He's amazing. 3-turn cooldown. So yeah, it's about him being fast. Place a block debuffs. Increase attack 50% on all allies for 2 turns. Also place a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns equal to 30% of this champion's max HP. Shield buff cannot be removed. 3-turn cooldown. Alright, so we brought him back to like a hybrid build. He's not all the way where he used to be when I first got him, which was in that 70 to 80,000. Actually, he was at 80,000 HP. We brought him down to about 40 to 50,000, and then we pumped up his defense. He was pretty good then. For clan boss, then we kind of built him up on the speed. Brought back his attack brought down his attack to about 26. He was at 3,100. And then we brought down his crit damage just a little bit. Wish it was higher, wish we had the gear for it, but we don't right now. So we got a decent amount of resist and accuracy to land, hopefully, some skills. All right. Lydia. Well, we all know how hard. If you've been watching my videos for any length of time, we went hard for her for a couple months there, and she is fantastic. I'm really glad we got her before the Shadow King Crypt, because I have a feeling once we get to those higher levels, it's going to be a little harder, and we will have to build some people out. Alright, so attacks when enemy has a 100% chance when booked, which she is. We saved books for her. Placing a fear debuff for 1 turn. Has a 100% chance because we booked her of increasing the duration of any poison sensitivity buffs by 1 turn. Passive effect: attacks enemy champions with this skill whenever they place a freeze, stun, fear, true fear, or petrification debuff on an ally, and it's really good. She has lots of chances to do fear, so she's like a control goddess essentially, much like Countess Lix. The number of attacks increased according to how many debuffs are placed at that time. 1 attack for each freeze, stun, fear, true fear, or petrification debuff placed. The first attack will target the attacker, while all extra hits will attack random enemies. Can only attack each enemy once. It's too bad that last piece is there because she could go a lot there if they didn't put that last piece. Alright, attacks all enemies has a 100% chance when booked on a 3-turn cooldown of placing a 60% decrease defense and weaken for 2 turns. Also place a 25% strengthen and increase speed buff on all allies for 2 turns. So she's gonna have everybody rolling really fast. And yeah, you can't go wrong. If you don't have her, get her now. Focus on Faction Wars, peeps. Attacks one enemy 2 times. First hit has a 100% chance when booked on a 3-turn cooldown of placing a 25% poison debuff for 2 turns. Second hit has a 100% chance when booked of placing a block buffs and block active skills debuff for 2 turns. You cannot go wrong. Alright, so she is stat hungry for sure. Now this is the cool one here. Denies enemy revive attempts. This works even if this champion is dead. If this champion is alive when an enemy is denied, revives all dead allies with 50% HP and 50% turn meter. Grants an extra turn instead if there are no dead allies. If this champion is dead when an enemy revive is denied, revives this champion with 50% HP and 50% turn meter. This skill will ignore block revive. 7-turn cooldown. Wish that was a little less, but yeah, she's already crazy powerful. Increases ally resistance in all arena battles by 100%. We don't use that, but I mean, maybe we'll find a way to use it at some point. Alright, let's take a look at the stats. Ooh, nice. Nice. Really nice. She's a clan boss champion. She enabled me to go 2 for 1 on the clan boss team here, which really helps stabilize my builds. Now, yeah, I just need Valkyrie, kind of finish it off, get that 1 key. Right now we're trending 2 key Ultra Nightmare, 1 key Nightmare, 1 key Brutal, actually 1 key everything else. But yeah, it's great. Alright, so crit rate's nice and high, got a decent amount of crit damage, really good resistance and accuracy. Once resistance is pumped up on Void for the Great Hall, we will have really close to 300 resist as well, so she's really going to be stacked. We got some of the best gear on her. Alright, under Iron Brago here, Molten Pummeling. Attacks when enemy has a 20% chance, booked up to 30% of decreasing the duration of all buffs by 1 turn. This is also important. A lot of people don't realize that he has this, so he can strip buffs. It's quite amazing. Defensive base champion as well. Fearless Charge places 60% increased defense buff on all allies for 3 turns and attacks one enemy. Has a 100% chance when booked of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn. Has a 100% chance of stun debuff for 2 turns instead if the target is under 2 or more buffs. That's actually kind of amazing. 3-turn cooldown there. Alright, next up, Battlestorm. Attacks all enemies. Has a 50 booked up to 75% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 1 turn. Also place a 50% decrease attack debuff on all enemies for 2 turns if Iron Brow goes under an increased defense debuff, which we get from Fearless Charge. Alright, so like his skills just work in conjunction. You hit him with the stun, you bring this in, decrease attack, and then you go to this one, you're rocking and rolling. Increase the defense on all allies by 10% of this champion's defense. This is why Iron Brago is one of the best champions in this game and totally changed my account when I fused him. We then have increased ally defense in Doom Tower battles by 34%. So that's why we have Tatura Ramhide as the lead, because he does 35. So we'll get an extra 35% off of this value here, which means this value is going to be higher as well. I know, just rocking and rolling. All right, so really good HP now. I wish I had 1,000 more defense on him. I just don't have the gear for it. But if I did, I'd put another 1,000 defense on him while maintaining this speed. This is a clan boss speed, so that's why he's a little low for where I would want him to be, but this is a perfect clan boss speed. Wish crit rate was at 100 so he could consistently hit his crit, but he's pretty good on that end. We will get a little bit more crit damage and resistance on him once we do out the Great Hall. But for right now, we got a good crap ton of accuracy, and we should be rocking and rolling. All right, last but not least, Godseeker and Neri, who we just got. Okay, we just pulled her during an event. Ooh, she could use a few extra books heal. So we got attacks one enemy. It heals the ally with the lowest HP by 5% of their max HP. Cannot heal this champion, so that's unfortunate. She is defense based. You know how I love my sustain teams, guys. Build defensive champions. It cannot hurt. Attacks all enemies, heals all allies by 15% of their max HP. Then decreases the duration of all buffs on all enemies by 1 turn and increases the duration of all buffs on all allies by 1 turn. 3-turn cooldown instead of a 4. We've got a plus 20% heal. We gotta get another 2 per, about another 3% on that. So this will be healing at 18% of their max HP. So that's kind of cool. And then revives a dead ally with 50% HP, then fills their turn meter by 50% and resets the cooldown on all their skills. 4-turn cooldown when fully booked. Passive effect is increase the amount of healing allies receive by 10%. If an ally is about to get killed by a fatal hit, preempts that hit and instantly places a revive on death buff on them for 1 turn before the damage is taken. It's amazing. Here. That's why I got her. She's basically an upgraded version, for heals at least, of Sandlash Survivor. Haven't figured out how to get her. Yeah, haven't figured out how to properly put her into my clan boss team. She does work well in 2 setups. One where she just replaces Sandlash, and then one where she's with Sandlash. But yeah, let's get this. All right, cool. All right, what do we got here? Okay. All right, I like what we are working with here. Let's see. Yeah, I think this team should be well suited for this particular battle. I don't think we'll have any issues here in stage 21. Yeah, very unlikely to have any issues whatsoever. All right. Man, I do gotta say, like, Tatura Ramhide with the freeze ability is fantastic. It totally changes the way the battle is set up, without a doubt. It totally changes the way the battle's set up. Yeah, you can't go wrong. All right. Good work, good work. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, plus he smacks harder than Iron Brago does. That is pretty impressive that he smacks harder than Iron Brago. It looks to be by a lot. It's like not even by a little bit. I guess that extra damage multiplier on his skills really help here for sure. Yeah, kind of strange, I guess. Yeah, I guess it is what it is. Yeah, Iron Brago has his own interesting little tidbits. But now I've got to try him to Ramhide in Clan Boss. The damage mitigation's great. He's got the increased defense. Decreased accuracy is really good. There, just in case. But we're not going to really have any issues because he's got block debuffs. So him and but he'd need to be he'd be at least 28 speed faster than he is now. Yeah, about 28 speed faster than he is now. That might be difficult to achieve. Yeah, without losing some stats somewhere else. We'll have to see, actually. That might be something where we take a look at that. Yeah, he is pretty consistently out snuffing Iron Brago there. But the benefit of Iron Brago is that he's going to get the extra damage to, or so the extra defense to everybody. That is pretty nice. It's hard to replace Iron Brago unless all the rest of your characters are really statted out. Yeah. These guys are interesting. They're taking some hits. I wonder who this is. He can take some hits. He's taking some big boy hits too. Yeah, he just must have like a ridiculous amount of health. The main person who we don't really want, oh well, there you go. He just popped off. It was Elder Scarab. We didn't want to get the true fear on us. Which we ended up getting anyway, so that kind of sucked. At least it didn't affect the run too much. We got 2 revivers here. Well, not revive. Yeah, 2 revive on death and cleansers. Shouldn't be an issue. Might take a little long though if they cleanse. If we let them take a turn, let's see. Ooh, hopefully not. Yeah, there we go. Look at these guys rocking and rolling. To me, yeah, Crimson Helm. Okay. She got really low speed, base speed. Are we worried about anything here? Not really. Yeah, we're not super worried about anything here. But I guess if you were very debuff sensitive in terms of you know, having to do debuffs to get through these levels, there he could have messed you up with the block debuffs. So in that case, you'd want to bring in like someone who could cleanse buffs or place out of AoE block buffs. I believe Vanax does an AoE. I think he does an AoE block buffs or block active skill, something like that. You have to build him really fast. But he does have a block revive on his A1, so that's kind of nice. Can't go wrong there. Yeah, you can't go wrong there. Nice. All right. Perfect. Keep going. No one really to worry about here. Rockbaker, is he interesting? Interesting. 20% buff. Counterattack. Okay, so his counterattack leads into this getting to 20% really quick. Too bad that's not 100%, because that would make him a lot better. But even 20% of this is still a lot. Alright. It's like an extra 1,400 or so. I guess we kind of got to get that done. Make sure he doesn't kill us in the long run, I guess. But luckily enough, we shouldn't have too many issues with that guy. Unless we do, then we're really going to be in trouble. But we should be able to take him out pretty quickly. There we go. Brago with that decreased buff duration on his A1. Very underrated champion for ripping off buffs. All right. So nothing that we're worried about here. Maybe the counterattack, but luckily we've got a sustained team here with a ton of damage reduction. Here, strengthen, veil. Yeah, so they're not hitting hard at all with all that damage reduction. 25 plus 15, you know, that's a lot. Overall damage reduction. Alright, so this is just going to be annoying because he's going to keep increasing his defensive attack because he's going to keep counterattacking. So this is what we're afraid of, but not super afraid on this end. Here, we just got to take these shots and kind of eat them. Ooh, unless Underpriest Brogni goes and rips it off. Yep. Yeah. Great job on at least the one rock breaker. All right. So we got through that. should be fine here for the rest of the way. All right, perfect. Let's keep going. All right, who do we got here? Defiled Sinner, I think. These guys are going down pretty quick. Oh, they're forest. Okay, well, that makes sense. Forest guys are going to go down really quick. Yeah, we got two absolute smackers into Tura Ramhide and Iron Brago here. Alright, yeah, doing a good job here so far. Oh, he revived himself. With a block. There we go, rip that off. Nice. Okay, we're rocking and rolling here. All right, good work. We are moseying along here. Ooh, we gotta be worried with the Seers here. And then Bushi, right? Not Missionary. I don't think we have anything to be worried about here. Maybe the provokes. Maybe the heal reduction. Decrease speed. Not super worried. But yeah, we do have to worry about the Seers. So yeah, let's make sure we take them out first. Let's see what the computer decides to do. Because we may get hit with at least one of Seers' slam abilities. Yeah. Not seeing too much issues here. I do love that the freeze is going off. It's popping off. Makes life so much easier when you have your opponents frozen. Yeah, there we go. All right. Right, some big smacks. I guess the only thing about Doom Tower is these guys have such high health, it's ridiculous. Yeah, high health, it just causes these battles to go on, right? So, nothing wrong with that. The main thing is you just really have to think about, being able to take a hit. Probably at least one or two hits if you're slower. So yeah, if you have an extender on your team for the extending buffs, great. Here, if you have people who can cleanse buffs on the other team, great. And then having the increased defense, increased attack, and then any damage reduction abilities. Here are always good things. So Veil, perfect Veil. You've got obviously increased defense. Any kind of passive that's going to increase defense would be good. And then decreased attack is a damage reduction skill. All right, so do keep that in mind. Having a decreased attack on a team is a good thing. So we've frozen one of the Seers. So we do gotta watch out for that second seer up in front here. She's setting up for a smack, but we should be able to kill her before then, possibly. There we go. And that should be all she wrote here. Nice. Alright, floor 27 done. Rock Breaker again. Now we gotta worry about the unkillable here, but that will eventually fade or will be ripped off. Oh, double Cardinals here, so they're gonna have a lot of revive possibilities here. So this could end up being interesting here. Oh, she didn't try to revive there. That's interesting. It will be denied, so that's a good thing. And now they've got unkillable. Now the good thing with unkillable is it doesn't prevent you from taking damage. So we can get these guys all down to like 1 health. And then as soon as their unkillable's up, boom. Gone. Sit down. Sit down. Booyah, we removed the right buff there. Nice. All right. Let's see. It's usually nice to get rid of the reviver first, but I guess the computer prioritizes damage. The damage guys over the revivers or the support. I guess it makes sense. Like if the if the damage guy is like crazy, he could kill us before we're able to take off the other guys. So makes sense on the computer's part. But strategy wise, always better to take out the supports in most cases. Nice. All right, nice. Yeah, we're rocking and rolling here. We are in good shape. All right. That's just gonna slow us down a little bit with the unkillable. That's unfortunate. Well, they're all at one, so we're just waiting at this point for them to take their turns and then go from there. Yeah, we are going incredibly fast versus these other guys. Sit down. All right, let's continue. Basher could roll back our skills, so we do got to be worried about that. Poisons will make him hit harder. Nothing to worry about down here, but he does put out a counterattack. All right. As always, love the freezes, love the CC. Just putting the beam to these guys is fun. Let's see. Seeker's always an issue because if we crit on him, he can put out increased defense, which you don't necessarily want to go out, but which is probably going to go out because of the way my team's built with a lot of crit. But if we can get through that, we're in great shape. I'm glad our team is going after Basher, so if we can control him, actually makes life a lot easier in these particular battles. Now, you know who would be a really good counter to the Orgrim Jailer when he puts his poisons on himself is anyone who can do poison explosion. It's actually kind of neat. Like he'd be the architect of his own downfall. Can't go wrong with guys who architect their own downfall, that's for sure. Alright, so there's 2 bashers here that we got to worry about. So we might have our skills roll back. Hopefully we can get our skills out before he takes a turn. Not the case. Okay, so this could end up being very, very interesting. Here. Alright, so we are going fast enough that we are able to roll through our skills and start to get some of them back. So really excited that we made these guys so fast. Speed is the key to unlocking the easiness of everything. All right, next up. All right, so this is my Scarab King team. They all basically have, with the exception of these 2, unfortunately, at least for right now. We hopefully will get one for at least him. I don't think she really needs one. But if we can get a Bloodshield ring on them, then we'll be in great shape. But all the rest of them do have it. You can see the stats here. Feel free to pause if you need to check them out in longer detail. So the base of this team is his A1 and Ethos's A1 do have max enemy damage skills. I'm gonna have to look up what exactly that is. Let me just see. Yeah, decreases targets max HP by 30% of the damage inflicted. So that's really good. That's what we want. Right here. So we locked out his all his skills except for A1s and A1s. A1 only for these 3. He's got his full complement. She's got her full complement here as well. But it does make taking down the Scarab King quite a bit easier. Reason we have the Immortal Melga Steel Girdle in here is because we want her to revive all of these champions, because they're not super squishy, but they're not. Yeah, they're not super squishy, but they're not tanky as well. So, you know, definitely something to keep in mind. Now she's fast, tanky, lots of defense, lots of resistance. So, yeah, she's just going to shrug off for the most part, all of his abilities. Let's go. Alright, the run-up should be pretty easy here. Only reason we have a little bit more difficulty and it's not going fast is because we have most of our guys on A1s. Because we want the Scarab King to only be A1s for most of them. So that's why this is going a little slower. Otherwise, Ethos would have done his A2 and his A3. So would Val or Vlad. And we would have been through these guys like pretty quick. Now I just realized that is a basher, so he does take percentage of our health, or is it reflect damage? I think he reflects damage. Yeah, so that's kind of annoying, but yeah, we'll get him done. Actually, it's probably a good thing that we don't use our big skills here, because that amount of damage being reflected would probably kill some of us. Alright, so we're here at the boss. Don't really have to worry too much about affinity. here, even with the lure, we don't have to worry too much. She's just there to give us a little bit extra in the tank here for, you know, turns and turn meter control. Otherwise, we're not super concerned. Basically, we just want to take down the shield. As soon as we get that shield down, this boss is done for. But yeah, whatever a lure can help us with in terms of rolling back that turn meter, the better off we will be. But yeah, we need to get Vlad and we need to get Ethos going fast and often. Now, at the speeds we're at currently, very likely we might have problems on stage 90. We're not there yet, but the probability of having problems at stage 90 is high. Which I'm kind of not looking forward to, but that one seems like it would be like a real slog there, that's for sure. But yeah, I'll be quiet here, and I will let you guys watch this here. Be back near to the end. Okay, it looks like with the shield getting down, a lot of our damage is going through, and we're really starting to rock and roll here. Goodbye, Scarab King. Hey, nice little reward there. Got a legendary piece. Congrats.